Reacher star names which novel he's most excited to adapt for the TV series. There are plenty of books to use as source material for future seasons of Prime Video's Reacher, and series star Alan Ritchson has one in particular that he's really looking forward to. Based on the Jack Reacher novel series by Lee Child, Reacher's first season was based on the first installment of the books, called Killing Floor. Season 2 jumps ahead with the source material by using Bad Luck and Trouble, Child's 11th Jack Reacher novel, as its basis. That skips over Child's second novel, Die Trying, though Ritchson is still hoping that the show will get back to that story to sue for inspiration. As the actor told the New York Post, that's the book he named as the one he's most excited to adapt. The whole time that we were filming Season 1, I was saying to myself, please, just be good enough to get a Season 2. If we're good enough for a second season, we'll be able to stay on for a while, he said. Because of the books, Killing Floor that Season 1 was based on was good, and I think it was a smart move to open the series on the first book, where we meet the character. But I don't think it's the best Reacher book. There are some that are so fun, so cinematic, and so made for the medium of streaming that I can't wait to get to. If we were to do Die Trying. So, knowing what the potential is for where the show can go, I just wanted to get through the first season and get a pickup. And then we got the response we did. Alan Ritchson was pleasantly surprised by the fan response to Reacher. Ritchson was also surprised when Reacher became an instant hit upon its release. He recalled the moment he first realized that maybe he had a hit on his hands with Reacher, adding that the show's success was probably just as much of a surprise to Amazon as it was to him and everyone else involved. Notably, the show was the first Prime Video original to top the Nielsen streaming rankings, and still ranks high as one of the streaming platform's most watched offerings. When my manager called me on a Saturday and said, "You're buying me an Aston Martin," I had some sense that the numbers were good, Ritchson explained. But right away, we couldn't believe how many people were watching. A lot of people were hopeful, but I don't think anybody expected that kind of response so fast. I don't even know if Amazon expected it, and they probably paid $2 billion for posters. The first 3 episodes of the second season of Reacher are now streaming on Prime Video. Jack Reacher, the towering ex-military cop turned drifter, has become a beloved figure in the world of modern thriller novels, thanks to the storytelling genius of author Lee Child. Reacher's no-nonsense attitude, his remarkable intelligence, and his raw physicality have been captivating readers for decades. With the success of Reacher, the Amazon Prime TV series, fans of the books were finally treated to a faithful adaptation that captured the gritty essence of Child's novels. But as the show's popularity continues to rise, the question that naturally arises is, which Reacher novel is next in line for adaptation? And more intriguingly, which book is Reacher if we imagine him stepping out of the pages of fiction most excited to see adapted for TV? To answer this question, we must first dive into what makes Jack Reacher such an iconic character and why certain novels stand out as prime candidates for adaptation. Reacher is the embodiment of old-school justice, a man who follows his own code and isn't afraid to get his hands dirty when necessary. He's a nomad, never staying in one place for long, which gives each novel in the series a unique setting and flavor. Whether he's uncovering a conspiracy in a sleepy southern town or going head-to-head with corrupt officials in a major city, each Reacher story feels fresh while remaining deeply rooted in the core of what makes him tick, a relentless pursuit of the truth, regardless of the consequences. The appeal of Reacher's TV adaptations. The first season of Reacher was based on Killing Floor, the debut novel in the series. It was a natural choice, as it introduced readers and now viewers to the world of Reacher, setting the tone for the character's methodical, often violent approach to solving problems. The show's success was due in large part to its faithful portrayal of Reacher, played by Alan Ritchson, whose imposing physique and measured performance won over fans who had long been waiting for a more accurate portrayal than previous film adaptations had delivered. With the first season setting a high bar, the excitement around which novel would be adapted next grew. Season 2 is set to adapt Bad Luck and Trouble, which sees Reacher teaming up with old comrades from his military days. While this storyline is packed with action and reunites Reacher with a familiar team, it's not the only novel that fans or Reacher himself might be eager to see adapted. Reacher's top picks. Which novel would he be most excited about? If we step into the mind of Jack Reacher himself, imagining him as a spectator of his own story, there are a few standout novels in Lee Child's extensive bibliography that would likely get his blood pumping. 1. The Enemy, Book 8. One novel that would undoubtedly excite Reacher for a TV adaptation is The Enemy. This book stands out in the series because it takes readers back to Reacher's days in the military police. It's a prequel of sorts, set in 1990, just before the fall of the Berlin Wall, and it showcases a younger, more disciplined Reacher, still very much part of the military machine. The Enemy is a gripping mystery involving the death of a two-star general and a tangled web of conspiracy at the highest levels of the U.S. Army. For Reacher, this novel would be a thrill to see adapted, because it revisits a time in his life when he was still bound by rules and military regulations, an intriguing contrast to the freewheeling lone wolf lifestyle he later adopts. The political intrigue, combined with Reacher's burgeoning sense of justice and distrust of authority, would make for compelling television. Additionally, fans would get a glimpse into Reacher's origins, learning more about what shaped him into the man he becomes. 2. 61 Hours, Book 14. Another novel Reacher might be particularly excited to see on the screen is 61 Hours. This book is unique in its pacing and structure, with the entire plot unfolding over the course of 61 hours, as the title suggests. Set in a small, frozen town in South Dakota, the story begins with Reacher stuck there due to a bus accident during a blizzard. What follows is a tense countdown as Reacher uncovers a dangerous plot involving a drug cartel, a mysterious secret, and a vulnerable witness in need of protection. The clock-ticking nature of 61 Hours would lend itself well to a TV adaptation, heightening the tension and giving viewers a true edge-of-their-seat experience. Reacher thrives in high-pressure situations, and this novel showcases his resourcefulness and determination in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. It's a perfect candidate for adaptation, offering the kind of slow-burn suspense that fans of the genre crave. 3. One Shot, Book 9. Perhaps the novel Reacher would be most excited about is One Shot, one of the most popular books in the series. The plot centers around a sniper who seemingly kills 5 random victims in a small Indiana town. The evidence points to a former military marksman, but Reacher, who has a history with the suspect, believes there's more to the story. As Reacher digs deeper, he uncovers a conspiracy that leads to a nail-biting showdown with the true culprits. One Shot has already been loosely adapted into the 2012 film Jack Reacher, starring Tom Cruise, but fans and critics alike felt that Cruise's portrayal didn't do justice to the physicality and gravitas of the character. A faithful adaptation in the TV series would be a chance to rectify that, bringing the novel's intense action scenes and complex plot to life with a more accurate depiction of Reacher. The combination of a tightly woven mystery and explosive action makes One Shot a prime candidate for adaptation, and one that Reacher, with his love of straightforward, no-nonsense problem-solving, would undoubtedly be excited to see. Conclusion: the perfect novel for Reacher's TV future. With more than 24 books in the Jack Reacher series, there's no shortage of material to adapt for future seasons of Reacher. While Bad Luck and Trouble is set to deliver action and camaraderie in Season 2, fans can look forward to the possibility of